The Gift of Generosity. A Tale of Unlikely Friends. In the heart of a lush forest, a majestic elephant named Rani lived a life of grandeur and wisdom. Her days were spent roaming the woods, sharing her knowledge and experience with the other animals. Rani's gentle nature and selfless spirit had earned her the respect and admiration of all who knew her. One day, a young and agile squirrel named Kaito stumbled upon Rani as she was gathering fruits for the winter. Kaito was amazed by Rani's generosity and asked her why she collected so much food when she had more than enough for herself. Rani smiled and said, "My dear Kaito, I collect food not just for myself, but for all my friends in the forest who may be in need. Winter can be harsh, and not everyone is as fortunate as I am. I want to share what I have with those who are struggling." Kaito was touched by Rani's words and decided to help her collect food for the other animals. Together, they worked tirelessly, gathering nuts, fruits, and seeds for the winter. As the days passed, Kaito grew closer to Rani and learned more about her selfless nature. He saw how Rani's generosity had brought the animals of the forest together, and how her kindness had inspired others to do the same. Kaito realized that Rani's gift of generosity was not just about giving food, but about building a community of love and support. Inspired by Rani's example, Kaito began to share his own talents with the other animals. He used his agility to climb trees and fetch fruits that were out of reach, and his quick thinking to solve problems that arose in the forest. One day, a severe storm hit the forest, knocking down trees and destroying homes. Rani and Kaito knew they had to act quickly to help their friends. They rallied the other animals, and together, they worked to rebuild the damaged homes and restore the forest to its former glory. As they worked, Rani and Kaito sang a song of hope and gratitude, their voices echoing through the forest. The song was a reminder that even in the darkest times, there is always something to be thankful for, and that together, they could overcome any challenge. As the storm passed, the animals of the forest came together to thank Rani and Kaito for their leadership and generosity. Rani smiled and said, "We are all in this together, my friends. We are all part of a larger community, and it is our responsibility to support and care for one another. Let us continue to give from our hearts, and let us never forget the gift of generosity that has brought us together." The animals cheered in agreement, and from that day forward, the forest was filled with the spirit of giving and sharing. Years went by, and Rani's legacy lived on. The animals of the forest continued to thrive, and their community grew stronger. Kaito became a leader in his own right, using his talents to help those in need. Together, Rani and Kaito had shown the forest that generosity was not just a gift, but a way of life. As the seasons changed, the animals of the forest looked up at the sky and saw the stars twinkling like diamonds. They knew that Rani's spirit was among them, guiding them to be generous and kind. One day, a young rabbit asked Rani's successor, "What is the secret to Rani's generosity?" The successor smiled and said, "Rani's secret was not just about giving, but about loving. She loved the forest and its creatures, and she wanted to make sure they were all taken care of. She showed us that generosity is not just about what we give, but about who we are." The rabbit nodded, understanding, and went on to spread Rani's message of love and generosity throughout the forest. As the years went by, the forest continued to flourish, and the animals lived in harmony with one another. They knew that they were part of something greater than themselves, a community built on love, kindness, and generosity. And they lived happily ever after, grateful for the gift of Rani's legacy and the spirit of generosity that she had instilled in them. The story of Rani and Kaito was passed down from generation to generation, a reminder of the power of generosity and the importance of community. The animals of the forest never forgot the lessons they had learned from Rani, and they continued to live by the principles of generosity and kindness. They knew that these principles were not just about giving, but about living a life of love and service to others. And as they looked up at the stars, they knew that they were part of a larger universe, connected to all living things, and responsible for making the world a better place. In the end, The story of Rani and Kaito teaches us that generosity is not just about what we give, but about who we are. With love and blessings. Brother Mosode.